Respect our movement.
I like your movement.
Black entrepreneurs.
What's going on, everybody? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Today we got another special video for you. Today we're going to talk about communication. Today we're going to discuss 9 steps to better communication today. First of all, let's start with the importance of communication in your relationship. Man, you need communication. You really need to be able to communicate efficiently with your significant other. And that significant other could be, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, or someone you're really close with. Do you really know how to communicate with the people around you? Do you really know how to draw people in and really take in consideration to what other people are feeling and what other people are thinking? Do you really know how to communicate how you feel or how you think? We're going to talk about that today. Relationships don't exist in a vacuum. We're just going to put that out there. They exist between 2 emotional human beings, which means at the end of the day, you're a person that has emotions and I'm a person that has emotions, and when we come together, that forms a relationship, a bond, and communication is a very intricate skill that when learned can be very valuable in your relationship. Communication either makes or breaks your relationship. You can improve your relationship today right now by putting into practice some of the tips and the tricks of improving your communication. If you just listen, sit back and enjoy it, and really take the time to enjoy each other. A lot of times as people, we don't enjoy each other. We have a lack of communication, and that brings in trust issues, that brings in, the lack of love, that brings in the lack of empathy, the lack of sympathy, and the lack of affection, and those are the things that really drive a relationship. You have to have faith in, of course, God, but you have to have faith in each other. What good is it for me to have faith in you, but you don't have faith in me, but we're in a relationship? Learn how to be balanced. Learn how to balance each other. So my first point for bettering your communication is to stop and listen. How many times have you heard someone say this or read it in an article about, communicational skills, how we don't listen, or how we talk more than we listen? Find it in yourself, when you really have serious conversations, that you dive in, but you really, when you're speaking, you're listening as well. You should do more listening than you do talking. And for the people that know me, I do a lot of talking, but I do a lot of listening too. It may not seem like it, but I hear everything, and that's where you need to be when it comes, to your relationship. Find time and that balance to actually be able to talk to someone and not talk at them. Learn how to listen to someone, not only with your physical ears, but your spiritual ears as well. Being in a tranquil space to where you can communicate efficiently. My second point would be force yourself to hear. Force yourself to hear. You have to force yourself to stop talking. A lot of times we find ourselves in situations to where we're trying to get our point across, but we're not listening to the other person. We don't hear anything they're saying because we have to be the person that's doing everything. We have to be the one that's going on and on about, whatever the issues are that we face, and we tune the other person out, or we shut the other person out rather. And what happens is you can't get your point across because then they stop listening. Now you're just yelling at one another instead of actually communicating, talking, getting your point across efficiently. It's one thing to be in a space to where you're having a disagreement, but it's another to actually listen to others' feelings and listen to, what's going on around you. Because again, communication is key in a relationship. You have to have it. You have to be able to sit down and take constructive criticism when it comes to you. A lot of times it's not the other person that's the problem, it's you that's the problem. You have to be able to admit that to yourself and be able to hear someone else critiquing what it is that you're not doing or what it is that you are doing. Be in a space to where you have to force yourself to hear what they have to say. It is gonna hurt. It's not gonna be an easy thing, but you have to train your mind to really take a step back. Be able to hear, force yourself to hear. My third point would be open and honest with your partner. A lot of times, this is one that I struggled with in my past relationships because a lot of times we feel like, if we're too honest, we're gonna hurt our partner. If we're not honest enough, we're gonna hurt our partner. When it comes to being open, a lot of times people say, hey, I want you to be vulnerable. I want you to be open. I want you to open your mind. I want you to tell me your secrets. Tell me things about you that no one knows. I want you to be there for me like I'm trying to be there for you. And a lot of times, we are closed-minded and we're closed off because of the things that we dealt with, because of the people that we dealt with, because of the hurt that we dealt with or didn't deal with. We find ourselves really not being open more than being honest. A lot of times we can fake the funk and get through with being honest, but we can't with being open. Learn how to be transparent enough to where you can be open and honest. Learn that things that you think no one cares about will be the things that people actually hold near and dear to their heart. Be in a situation to where you reveal your true emotions. A lot of times we hide our emotions. We hide things. We hide behind a smile. We hide behind makeup. We hide behind, everything. We hide behind the clothes we wear. We hide behind things. The prettiest people sometimes do the ugliest things. And with that being said, is like you have to find it in yourself to learn how to be open, be honest, and be transparent with your partner. Be open, honest, and transparent in your communicating with your partner, because what happens is if you can do that, you show them a vulnerable side of you, they're more willing to show a vulnerable side of them. A lot of times that's part of the problem with getting to know people or dating someone or being married to someone. You get so used to this closed off space that anytime that you poke a finger and you really take time to see what an issue is, people hide behind it. People don't want to tell you what's really bothering them because they don't want you to judge them. They don't want you to say anything that's gonna make them feel less of a person. And I'm here to tell you, being very open, honest, and transparent, you are beautiful. No matter what imperfections you have, imperfection is perfection in itself. It's beauty. Learn to accept your imperfections. Listen, we're not all there yet. I'm not all the way there yet. It's still areas in my life that I struggle with. It's things that I'm hurt by and I'm healing. It's okay to heal. It's okay to be open enough to say, hey, I'm hurting in this area. Please don't hurt me. Please cover me in prayer. Please be there for me like you say you're going to be there. It's okay to do those things. Learning how to be open and honest and transparent can really save you a lot of time in the long run. My next point, pay attention to nonverbal signals. Man, let me say that again. Pay attention to nonverbal signals. Most of our communication with others in our friendships, in our marriages, isn't always about what we say, but it's how we say it. You find yourself saying things, sometimes by your body language, by the tone of your voice, by the inflections, by your eye contact, how far away you are physically and non-physically from the person that you're with. Being in a space to where you can read your partner's non-verbal signals is a task in itself, and it takes time and patience. But the more you do it, the more in tune you are with that person, the more you are connected to this person. We all have done it. We've all been in situations to where, when we talking to someone, we fold our arms, or the lack of eye contact, or, the loud and aggressive tone. people turning away while you're talking, really not giving your full attention, things like that. Learn how to avoid doing stuff like that. Learn how to really dive into your partner. Be connected with your partner. You know, read your partner's nonverbal signals. You know, if they're having a bad day, maybe not having that conversation when you want to is important because they may be going through something. Or, you know, it can also be, you know, say for instance, I've had a bad day and you say, hey, I want to talk to you. And I say, okay, well, just give me some time. Maybe, you know, it's best that you do give that person some time because you don't really know what goes on in a day to day mindset of a person that's hurting or that's dealing with certain issues. You know, time is important because it heals, but at the same time, don't over abuse that time. Don't take time to take time, if that makes sense. Don't allow yourself too much time to think and have negative thoughts fester in your brain, because what happens then, it becomes a lack in other areas in your relationship. So being in tune and in line with, you know, the nonverbal signals that your partner giving out is definitely one. Another one will be stay focused in the here and now. Man, let me tell you, I've said it so many times in my past relationships and in my past friendships as well. Man, leave the past in the past. It is okay for you to forgive and to forget. People always say, "Oh, I forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget." Man, you ain't ready for nothing real then. That's the reality of it. You have to learn how to forgive and to forget. You cannot take anything into a marriage from a relationship from a hurtful standpoint. You have to learn how to forgive and forget. A lot of y'all are sitting around now trying to figure out why your boyfriend and girlfriend has not really committed to you in a place to where y'all can be engaged. And that is a reason why. Because you haven't learned how to forgive a person and you haven't learned to forget their flaws and their mistakes. We all have committed mistakes and we all have flaws. We all come with baggage. Some a little more than others, but we all have something that we have to learn how to forgive and learn how to forget. Stay focused to the here and now. If you guys, you know, go through a problem or hit a rough patch in your relationship or your friendship, your bond or your marriage, learn how to get over that together. Take some time separately, but learn how to face the issue together. There is no reason why you should be facing the issue by yourself if you're in a relationship. Relationship takes two people, not one person, but two, which means any issues that y'all have, y'all should be facing them together. And it's the same in a marriage. It's the same with a bond, and it's the same with a friendship. These things cannot be cultivated if you still have the mindset that you're single. A lot of times what we do is we get into relationships with people and we don't release other people. We don't learn how to let other people go. We don't learn how to forgive and forget other people. So we carrying around things from relationship that we had 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago. We're carrying around all this baggage and all this negativity from our last relationships because we haven't let them go. We haven't forgiven ourselves. We haven't forgave ourselves. We haven't forgotten our thoughts in ourselves at that moment. We haven't forgiven the person that did these things to us. We haven't forgot about the things that they've done to us, and we haven't forgave them completely. We haven't let it go. You know, you have to forget these things. And what happens is we carry those same feelings, those same emotions, those same sexual desires, those same everything into the next relationship, and we wonder why it hits a glass ceiling. We wonder why stuff hit the fan because we haven't learned to live in the here and now. You cannot move forward in your relationship if you're still dating 3 or 4 dudes, you know, that you had back then, or 3 or 4 girls that's way back when. No, that's not how this works. This is not how you have successful relationships and successful communication. You have to learn how to let things go. You have to learn how to forgive and forget. Live in the here and now. Live in the moment. It's okay to plan for the future, but you cannot move forward and you cannot live in the here and now if you're stuck on things that happened in the past. Period. My next one will be Try to minimize emotions when talking about important things or big decisions. Learn how to minimize your emotions. Learn how to take your emotional side away from what's really going on as far as the communication when it's something that's important or something big, like a major decision. Learn how to leave your emotions at home. Learn how to leave your emotions off your sleeve. Put them in your pocket if you got to. Be emotional about issues after the fact. But when it's time, minimize your emotions. Please minimize your emotions when you're talking about something of importance or a big decision that has to be made, because you cannot think logically if you're thinking emotionally. Let me repeat that. You cannot think logically if you're thinking emotionally. My next one is be ready to create an argument. And basically what that means is be able to sit down and really talk about these things, but learn how to be happy rather than to be sad. Learn how to respect your significant other as much as possible. Being able to comfort and soothe this person after y'all have arguments is one of the things that really can strengthen your communication. Learning how to get into an argument, but at the end of the day, still being able to love that person, still being able to look that person in the face. I don't really care what it is, it covers a plethora of things, arguments, period. For argument's sake, anything that you guys can have an argument about, you should be able to look that person in the face, forgive them, and really love them genuinely at the end of the day. And yes, it's hard. It takes time. But learn how to do that. Learn how to be in a situation to where when both parties cool off, hey, baby, that conversation really changed my mindset on these things. I don't like to see us argue. I don't like for arguments to get like that. I really do love you and you mean something to me. You really mean a lot to me. Things like that. Being able to humble yourself enough to say, hey, listen, I know I made a mistake and I want this thing to work. I want to try to work this thing out. Let's get it together. Being able to do those things can really help you. Really help your communication and really build that bond stronger with you guys. Another one is be humorous and playful at times. Being able to laugh with each other, man. Being able to not only have communication when something is wrong, but being able to really have that humor. Being able to joke, man. Being able to have fun with your significant other is so important, man. Y'all are human. It's okay to have that balance, Don't get so wrapped up in, everything else, the kids, work, school, anything else that you may be doing, church, sororities, fraternities, whatever it is. Don't get so caught up in that you can't have fun with your significant other, man. That right there really is one that hits home for me, man. Talking about my past relationships and things like that. I remember dating someone and someone asked me what happened, y'all didn't cheat on each other. So what was the breakup, and I told him, to be honest, it just wasn't fun anymore. Like we wasn't having fun anymore. It just wasn't a fun experience. The person that I fell in love with and the person that she fell in love with, we just weren't the same people anymore. We wasn't having fun. We weren't doing anything. We weren't going on dates. We weren't, just doing little stuff. It became so routine that it wasn't fun anymore. Being able to laugh and joke and play, man. Listen, that's something that we all need, man. A little laughter ain't never hurt nobody. My last one, I would probably say communicating is more than just talking. Being able to communicate with your actions, being able to do things, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's texting, these things are all good. It doesn't necessarily have to mean, me having a face-to-face with you. Show some gratitude, man. Be humble. Be in a place to where, learn your significant your significant other's love language is important, man. Being able to communicate with that love language, being able to really dive and invest in your love language is awesome. Being able to see different things and do different things, with your significant other, man. Being able to communicate is so much more than just talking. Hey man, write a letter. Write a letter to your significant other explaining to them how much they mean to you, man. And I promise you, man, your communication will go on a whole nother level, because again, man, we all need that communication. We all want to feel like we can talk to the people that we're with. We all want to be in a space where we can do that. We can dive into that, and a lot of times, like I said, man, what we do is we find ourselves in positions to where we lack communication because we struggle in different areas. A lot of times it's, not wanting to be open, or don't know how to be open, don't know how to be transparent, don't know how to, communicate without arguing, don't know how to incorporate humor and playfulness and fun into your relationship, don't know how to do these things. And if that's the case, then, you have to study your partner. You have to study, what makes your partner tick, and you really have to be on it, because in order for your relationship to work, both of you have to be putting in the same amount of effort. The same amount of effort. If I'm putting in 110% and you only putting in 25%, at some point, I'm gonna hit the glass ceiling, because I'm gonna be trying to pull you up to where I'm at, and you're taking your time getting there. And for some odd reason, we're gonna clash. We're gonna bump heads. You're gonna have a lot more arguments. If you start out on an even playing field and we both pulling our weight when it comes down to a relationship, I promise you, the communication will go up, your love will go up, the bond will be stronger, your friendship will be stronger, your relationship will be stronger. You will learn how to correctly love your significant other. You will learn how to correctively have communication with your significant other. You will learn how to correctively be in a space to where you can take that one, which is you, and take the other one, which is your significant other, and put them together and make two every single time. It's in you to make these proper steps to better your communication. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Before I end this video, I definitely want to give a quick rundown of what's going on and where I'm at in my life, man. A lot of things have happened. I'm in a transition in my life, man, to where I'm open to a lot of different things. What I'm getting ready to start doing, I'm getting ready to launch something. I'm very excited about it, and I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a sneak peek of what it's called and what I'm gonna be doing. I'm getting ready to launch something called Relationship Bootcamp. And with this Relationship Bootcamp, it's gonna be very similar to the videos that you're seeing now, but these videos are also gonna have downloadable worksheets for you and your significant other. I really want to get into doing workshops, so I'm looking into a space now to where I may turn this Relationship Bootcamp into an actual workshop. We are gonna have some things that we're gonna talk about, and communication is definitely gonna be one of them. We're definitely gonna have some apparel. I'm thinking maybe a t-shirt, maybe a hoodie, maybe a hat, but we are definitely pushing the Relationship Bootcamp. It's coming. I'm here. That's why I've been taking some time off to really sit down and figure out what I'm doing and really cultivate my idea. So you will definitely be getting some information about that. It'll probably hit, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat real soon. But yeah, we're definitely doing the Relationship Bootcamp. If anybody out there has, any type of input they want on it or anything like that, or if you guys just want to give some advice, or if you know anyone that may be interested in actually helping me put together this workshop, let me know. Drop a comment below. Hit me up on Facebook at Andy Miller, or hit me up on Instagram, Mills Miller 21 on Instagram. Snapchat is Mills Miller 21 as well. Cash App, if you guys want to donate to the channel, my Cash App is Mills Miller 21 as well. And we're really gonna be taking over some things, man. We got some exciting things going on. We're really about to really get some things started. The tour is on the way as well. Listen, I'm telling you, man, we on the rise. 2020, we taking over. We here to stay. We doing major moves in 2020. All access backstage. The tour is coming. We put in the finishing touches on the tour. I spoke to a lot of people, and like I said, man, relationship boot camp is on the way. Be looking for it.